We have a lot more as far as news is, because not only on social media but on the main discussion platforms, we're here to discuss what the newspapers have been publishing and the various online portals. Mama V is all yellowish this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
My yellow lady. How was your weekend? So and so.
Charlie. Oh my God. You know, International Women's Day is coming up, and I'm thinking that maybe women should gather around and discuss perhaps the various routines.
Perhaps we can do a topsy-turvy, you never know. Bring some very brilliant women, as we have them in our society, to come do some great discussions on many women. There are lots of discussions that we can always do. There's always the issue of affirmative action, but how deep-rooted have we taken it as a society? Because if you look across the communities we have, and I grew up in one of the communities that may not have all the basic amenities, but access to education for the girl child is a huge concern, because education draws you closer to becoming a lot more aware of what your society is, what you need to do. If you're better educated, you can know what decision to take.
I think you have a better chance at life, actually, as well.
So we need to do the discussions very well and place all that, because it's just going to be 2 days after our first independence anniversary, etc. So we need to put all those into great perspective.
I feel like, you know, we also have to get together and share. We need like to form cliques as women. Because when you asked how was your weekend, I was like, oh my God, can I begin to outline how the weekend has been?
It's always a rough time. So sometimes we just have to take it as it goes, but we have to create the right opportunities for the right people. Because women in our country are still vulnerable, and if you're marking International Women's Day, we have to put it into greater perspective. Yeah,
definitely. We have great conversations to come. This is the AM show, is the Monday edition. Tomorrow's a holiday. Roland,
I don't know.
It's a holiday tomorrow.
Kind of puts my because it's as if. It felt like today was a Sunday for me.
So we you know, people work today and there's no work tomorrow, but there's work on Wednesday.
Well, I'm working tomorrow though. You and I all working. And the rest.
We're all working, but you know, we take consolation in the fact that there is a fufu party just across the road.
Yes.
They've given assurances the food will be ready by 7 a.m.
So look, Charlie, I'll be there. I'll blow some nice coffee and be there.
Why don't we set your conversation across the streets? So you can have your conversations.
That'll be great.
Closer to the food.
Yeah, that'll be great. And see what I can have in a dish of food, and then I'll also be having some great conversation.
That will be good.
After all, we do that all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Please send us messages. Send us WhatsApp messages and regular text messages here on the show. We're going to do the newspapers, but let's just give you an idea of what to expect on our show this morning. There is a certain video that has been making rounds, and apparently the person who shot it, or the person who's close to the person who shot it, was arrested.
I think I can guess what video it is. Okay, move on.
It has to do with Shatawale and the police. And some people saying that he was very disrespectful to the police. I want us to, so this is the video that is showing on your screen right now. But on the back of this, you know, when the video came out, I was just thinking.
Perhaps if we don't have, can we have a sound up?
Okay, let's do this.
Well, so that's the prospective VGMA top musician of the year, Shatta Wale. May I give it to him? But I don't know about the issues of his behavior, etc.
But I don't know. I think that sometimes we're all stopped by the police, and sometimes it gets very irritating.
Yeah. Only that we don't get filmed.
Yeah, maybe.
He got filmed, I think.
Yeah. And so we thought that we all could do with some education this morning. On what basis can they stop you, and what can they do? Can they say they're taking your car keys, or can they famously, like they famously say, drive behind me, like where to? All of that. So we've got a great man who is in charge of education, thankfully, at the MTTD police, and he's joining us for a conversation. That's the first half hour of talk here on the show this morning.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I would want to get myself educated on the subject too. I guess we all would be. And that would be DSP Obeng.
Alexander Obeng.
Okay, great.
Yes, Alexander Obeng.
Well, what do you think? Have you been accosted by the police before? And what would be your rights as well?
Not in this famous way.
Yeah.
Not in this famous way. I know they ask your license. They can say your license, like, and sometimes they take your license and then they say come to the police station. But we know elsewhere it doesn't happen like that. Can they just simply take your car number and say report so and so? If you want to take me to court, why don't you give me a ticket and tell me when to report? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And then sometimes it's a police-public relationship. So sometimes we tend to establish relationship with the police. On this story, I'm told that the gentleman, Shatta Wale, knows the gentleman.
That's what he said on Peace FM on Saturday.
And all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And he said he kind of blew up when the man said that
he was a rascal.
Exactly. That's what got him angry.
I have some great relationship with some police people, but those very police people have accosted me too before, pretending as if they didn't know me. Because the law is the law. So, and sometimes maybe I may not have been well versed in what the content of the law was. So I'm not able to uphold my rights very well. But sometimes psychologically you feel that maybe you are guilty.
Yeah. And
so you don't want to push it too far and for them to uphold the law and then you'll be the more guilty.
Yeah. It's a shame. There's also another question of why was the woman, so there's a hairdresser who's in this video, who is seen in this video, was arrested. Basically, they wanted to know from her who shot the video. But why should somebody be arrested for this? We've seen videos go viral. Exactly, we've seen videos go viral.
But that should not be the fault of Shatta Wale, is that it? Because that one was an action taken by the police.
Yes, but he's in favor of that. I mean, he likes that a lot. But let's quickly fast forward. Last Saturday, there was a major cleanup exercise here in Accra and other parts of the country, an exercise towards fulfilling the president's vision of making Accra the cleanest city in Accra. But what was discovered in some major gutters could only be handled by the fire service. You won't believe it. We will retell that story as was told by our news editor, Fred Smith, here on the show, and have a conversation on the back of this. The sanitation minister has promised to be here. We hope really that he'll be able to make it. But we've got Kojo Lumo, who has an NGO that focuses on sanitation. And so he will also join us. We are talking filth in the country this morning. Yeah.
Well, it's a great conversation.
Human excreta in the gutters. So the fire service essentially had to come and flush those toilets out.
Relatedly, I tend to work around waste issues. And when you get to some of the bigger drains, you find vehicle parts, body parts, you find maybe part of building railings.
Like everything and anything.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And we tend to, if you look at communities that live upstream, when it's time for rains, that's when they want to push the rubbish down. So it's got to do with the attitude.
Yeah.
It's not the waste companies, it's not the government, it's us. If we do it well, then it's easier for the waste companies to desilt, etc., not to have extra, and the government doesn't have to expend more.
Yeah.
And then we have to come to a bigger conversation about what do we do with the waste that we generate.
Yeah.
What can we make it in such a way that it becomes regenerative and produces enough resources for us to refinance the waste and the way we collect and manage the waste.
Yeah.
It's a big issue. The more developed countries, they do it better. And I'll give you a picture in which in Singapore, if you spit, you're given some kind of ticket or something to appear, to come and pay a fine, or you appear within a 24-day period to the court.
Nice.
And I think it's on my platform. So
Nice.
I'll send that to you. Maybe during the conversation we can have a greater conversation.
Falling all Santa Clausians, it's your 108th.
They are 108 years old.
Yeah, that's a big deal. We've got a conversation on the back of this, and the 93-year group is doing some amazing project work on the school campus. We will share that with you. Wow. But let's do the newspapers, shall we? Roland will start off with the Ghanaian Times newspaper.
All right, so on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, we have Black Day at Dominase and Sogakope. As 8 perish in accident at Dominase. We're told that the accident happened in between midnight and the early part of that dawn. And then 5 also died after eating banku meal at Sogakope, obviously some food poisoning there. So those are issues that we're very much familiar with. We brought you that in the news. It's on page 15 of the paper. And then we also have police clarify shake-up in command. That's on page 15 of the paper. So let's just go to page 15 of the Ghanaian Times. Maybe that will put the issues into a better perspective or greater perspective. And page 15, 16. Okay, so we seem to be there. Now we're there. So the story captured says that the Ghana Police Service has said that the appointment of DCOP Christian Teteyehuno as Director General of Police Intelligence Directorate has no connection to the already existing Professional Intelligence Professionals or Police Intelligence Professional Standards Bureau, that's PIPS. In a statement to the Ghanaian Times to clarify part of the story carried under the headline, Big Shake-Up in Police, the Director General of Public Affairs, Assistant Commissioner of Police, David Eklu, said the elevation of the Police Intelligence Unit to a directorate is a recognition by the police administration that a well-structured and coordinated intelligence unit can be a critical tool to successful police operations. Well, we hope so. We hope so. That's all we can say. So Inspector Ashlevi Barrett, promoted to ASP posthumously. This is beautiful. And then we know that that gentleman was a victim of that attack on the police post that took place in Mamavi's old area, Kwabenya.
Yeah.
It's a very unfortunate incident, but it was just sandwiched between a lot of issues that have been happening with security. Started from last year, beginning of the year has been continuing, and now we've seen it reach a certain crescendo. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now we need helicopters to be able to capture
Apparently,
crime.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
And you know
in Brazil, when we went for that World Cup, it's the helicopters that they use in capturing the images of us flying the $4 million. So I think that
wasn't it 3? Are you elevating the figure? That was 3.
Okay, $3 million. Yeah. But we see it in when they are chasing crime in the United States, etc. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get them choppers and we'll be able to deal with it. But some bad people visited it's a Calvary temple there, ICGC Spintex.
The early morning of Sunday.
Yeah. And they were trying to steal the large screen.
Well, they did steal, but dropped it. One of them.
So what we are told is that they had sirens of the police. I'm not sure the police was headed that direction, but they were just visible in the area. So once they headed, they kind of just bolted. Yeah. And then the pastor there, Anthony Kojo, has given them 13 days.
Otherwise,
they will face the wrath of God. So 13 days for them to confess and repent. Yeah, and I'm reporting courtesy MFA Atiamwa Eli because she's a member of that congregation.
I saw that conversation
she was giving us
on the timeline of Della Russell. She works with the Daily Graphic.
Okay.
And Della Russell.
But MFA is a member of the church.
Okay,
actually,
she's also a member of the church.
Oh, nice.
It's a chorister there, and said that usually before Sunday, the early part, maybe around 2 a.m. or something, they go there to pray. They have a team that goes to pray before they start main church early part of the morning. And they also pretended to be members of that. Oh. Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they pretended to be, you know that time you have.
So it means that they had actually studied the routine.
Oh, yes. But, they just don't move.
Fire burn all them bad people.
Yeah. How much were they going to sell those TVs anyway?
I don't know, and they sell it for cheap. They'll come and steal somebody's like 7,000 Ghana cedis worth of screen, and they'll go and sell it for like 800 Ghana cedis or something like that.
True.
All right, let's do the Daily Graphic news. Oh, are you through?
I think I'm through.
Yeah. All right, let's move to the daily. Okay, you didn't do the back page.
Okay,
Fred
so we have
says.
100 migrants repatriated from Ghana. And, but we have TMA begins fumigation of all markets in Tema. It says the Tema Metropolitan Assembly will today begin a massive fumigation exercise in all markets to get rid of filth and rodents in the wake of the Lassa fever disease, which claimed one life at the Tema General Hospital on February 28th. Anyway, Lassa fever, Tema General Hospital. And we're told that it was confirmed by the Noguchi Memorial Institute, and apparently we're told that the personnel that also treated the victim are under surveillance.
You're monitoring them.
I hope that the personnel and the families are under surveillance. I hope so. All right.
Front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, microfinance companies in distress. Customers hands for directors for cash. Comes with a picture of Kofi Amoa Ewa, who's head of other financial institutions supervision department of the Bank of Ghana. And every day, you know, like you get worried with these microfinance companies, and you're tempted to say, you know what, let's stick to the traditional banks. But you don't also want to say that because there are genuine ones in there, but kind of just mixed up with all these other ones that you can't trust. Story on page 3, it says that thousands of frustrated and agitated customers of 4 microfinance companies in the country are piling pressure on the companies to retrieve their locked up lifetime savings. This follows many failed attempts by the customers to access their savings. The incident signals another round of ticking time bomb for the financial sector's directors of the AGT Microfinance, the Man Capital Microfinance, the McOtley Money Lending, and the Alpha Capital Savings and Loans companies are being chased around by frustrated customers whose investments have long passed their maturity dates.
I guess it's a conversation for
Is
another
the
day.
DKM?
We have another DKM in the offering, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how it started, right? And it did involve only one company, so a number of them. And this time, so we have a bunch of companies also involved in this. But
I don't know. I feel that the Bank of Ghana should be doing a lot more than just once in a while coming out to either issue a statement and say that this person is not in good standing. So, because I feel like the way they do it, how many people would even know? Shouldn't we be publishing microfinance companies in good standing and things like that, so that way before the company collapses, people can see it coming or something? I don't know.
I think so. I don't know. Sometimes the institutions that we have that need to alert the public or the sector need to make sure that they give the right sort of information prior, and not when the incidents have happened.
Yeah.
And their lives have been shattered for many people. Because some people put their last into these savings.
So the Bank of Ghana says that they're containing the problem by closing down loss-making companies, and those that require further investigations have been forwarded to IYOCO. This is a quote from the man whose picture is on the front page, Kofi Amoa Ewa. He says, quotes, "We have increased the numbers, we've increased the mechanisms as well. We've sent people to the regions, so we have done something to strengthen supervision of these microfinance companies. We've asked them to stop opening new branches and giving out fresh loans and fresh deposits and concentrate on paying their clients." You know, when you ask them to, do they listen? When you ask them to, do they listen? Because we don't want to hear, oh, I asked him to. You get it?
It should be more like a directive.
Not strong
it
enough.
Should be
That's
I
not
am
strong
ordering you to.
Exactly.
Not,
if possible, you should have your
it's
men
more like an appeal.
embedded in those companies to ensure that they're doing the right thing.
I agree with you perfectly.
But
I agree with
we're
you
kind
perfectly.
of pampering them. It makes me really angry. On page 16, though, Rawlings advocates 2 5-year terms for presidents, and then improved compensation package for police. We're told that Roland, you talked about the late Ashelevi, the family members were really pleased with the way the police exactly,
yes.
The late police
And I saw
officer,
some pictures, though. I didn't see videos, but I saw some pictures, and you could see that the police service, they marshal their resources.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking necessarily about money in terms of the personnel and the visibility in itself. So it kind of assures the family that after all, our dad or our relative or our uncle really didn't die in vain.
Yeah. This was a really big blow to the police as well.
Ultimately, the family will suffer in the end, but at least
definitely.
the departing burial is something that they can always have in memory.
So the paper, the Daily Graphic newspaper, talks about a certain package that the family received.
How much is it?
It wasn't disclosed, but they're given a certain figure of 185,374.85, and they're saying that that has been released to the family of the late police officer.
But the thing is, I think he has children, 4 or 5 or so. So they need to be taken care of because they need education in the course of their lives, and that's what's important. And then the rest, because after, I mean, 3 months or a year down the lane, we all will forget about this, and it has to be the struggle that the family will have to undertake. And they need to make sure that the police service, needs to make sure that whatever packages they give to the family are managed adequately for the siblings or the children to be able to manage adequately.
So, you know, I think in all, 122 affected personnel, their families received something, so it's not just the late Ashlevi. And then they say that apart from the basic amounts, information available to the graphic indicates that the total quantum of the money each officer would receive would be based on one's rank and number of years in the service.
He was given the ASP promotion. Posthumous, so that's a good one.
So Assistant Superintendent of Police. All right, so details of that story, well captured. Dominic Moses area of the Daily Graphic, you can read all about it. And then this one on Rawlings, advocating for 2 5-year terms, as former President Jerry John Rawlings has advocated 2 5-year terms for president, serving under a constitutional democracy.
I agree.
And according to him, in most 4-year terms, the first 5 year was used for acclimatization, while the last year returned into a political crusade of campaigns, leaving but a year or less, depending on the political climate. And this, I think there's an example of Uganda.
I think President Kufuor has also advocated this.
Yeah.
Has been advocating this even prior to his exit from office.
Yeah, back in 2008. So,
but it means that when you're in opposition, let's say the NDC in opposition, it would have been for 5 years, first term.
But it's
if
good
the
that
party
at
gets
least
to win the
founder of the NDC
is advocating
and the party is in opposition. So you can't say that, they are saying it so that they can stay in power for much longer.
I agree.
Ghana Free Zones Authority licenses 16 new companies, story on page 20. But let's go to the back page of the Daily Graphic. 4 tipper tracks excavator bent down in the northern region. That was in our news, and I still can't understand why we touch all these tracks. Like, can't we do something meaningful with it than to just gather them and bend them, if you like. Also, 150-kilometer town roads project begins in Eastern Region. That's also another story on the back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. I'd like to say good morning to my dear friend Frank Amebo, who's watching the show right now from somewhere, maybe in Tema. Good morning to you. Yeah. Roland, Daily Guide?
So I have Daily Guide. Today, no center spread. It's all independent, advertorial, so we forget that for now. But the front page has got some newsworthy items. We have Ghana Star will shine again. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He's been the main person receiving that award. And in the picture there, he's sandwiched between Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, the Papa, and his wife, Rosa Whitaker. We know that it was the Whitaker Group Gala Awards night took place in Washington in the United States of America. And we say congratulations to the President of the Republic, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And then 4 die after eating banku and okro. Businessman grabs Natoshi. And we know Natoshi is the former member of parliament for the Tema West constituency.
Got
married? She's a current administrator for the District of Common Fund.
Exactly, but what does this story mean? Like, is it a marriage renewal or this is...
No, she's married fresh.
Oh, okay, wow.
And then Shattawale clashes with cops. I love the way they put this headline. Yeah. I love Samini, but I think Shattawale is a great talent.
So, you know, this year that's, you know, we are rooting for you with the Ghana Music Awards and everything. This one too.
Well, he's all over in advertorials, in the columns for the controversies. Freedom.
He says
Freedom.
he misses the music award
Freedom.
stage. He wants
Freedom.
to perform.
Freedom.
Yeah, see, when you give freedom, this is what happens.
Anyway.
Shatter wine.
Shatter one. SM for life.
Oh my God.
Shatter one is controversial.
Okay, so you're through with the guide?
Yes, I think I'm through.
All right,
with
let's
the guide.
follow up with the Finder newspaper. Front page of the Finder, 122 hero cops to receive big package. Late ASP Ashilevi's family gets 185,374 Ghana cedis package. Essentially, same story in the Daily Graphic, also in the Finder. And then U.S. Congress acknowledges President's exceptional leadership. CID probes police officer for arresting 3 people over Shatta Wale video. See? 6 die, 18 others injured in fatal accident. IMF tells Ghana to adopt new revenue plan before April review. Now, let's go to this because this is the angle of the Shatta Wale incident that we were talking about a while ago, that we kind of don't understand why somebody be arrested. I think the woman spent hours at the police station. The story says that the Criminal Investigation Department of the Ghana Police Service has commenced investigations into the behavior of Assistant Superintendent of Police, ASP K. Azaleko. Charlie, he's a big man too, who arrested 3 people in connection with a video in which Azaleko engaged in an altercation with dancehall artist Shatta Wale. ASP Azaleko of National Patrol Department, Accra Region, last Friday arrested one Mami Ifwa and sent her to the Legon police station in a video that has gone viral. Yeah, so we know about the video, but the police officer, okay. So this background to the incident, but essentially I think the angle that I want from the story is the fact that the CID is probing. And yeah, because we want to understand on what basis would you arrest 3 people, because there's a certain video that has gone viral. And they arrested this woman, I think she's a hairdresser, because she was, so, you know, she had turned almost and then kind of gave a smile, if I remember. So it was
I saw a fair lady in the video. Is that her?
So she's one of those who
okay, she's one of those, but because I don't think she was the one filming, right?
No. So essentially it was like, oh, so you must know the person was filming. So, we're arresting you so that you tell us. But if you know, then what? It was public space. You are police.
But is it a crime to
it's
record and when it goes viral? What do you do?
No, but I don't think it's even a crime. I mean, how would we have known that something like that had happened?
Yeah,
I'm not sure it's a crime. I really don't know. But you can give us the education.
Yeah, I'm just thinking,
so
we film every day and it goes viral.
This was in the streets. This was in the streets.
Maybe it was for national security.
What is national security about that?
Shatta Wale being accosted by the police.
He wasn't even the one, you know, originally. Somebody else was driving a vehicle that belonged to him.
It's not even that vehicle he sat in.
No.
It's another,
apparently
it's
the
another
person had gone to the car wash.
He sent the person to go to the car wash.
Exactly.
The vehicle was accosted. So the person said, look, let me call my boss.
I'm not the owner, yeah.
So he came and he sees that, we're told that he says, oh, it's you.
Yeah, because he says he knows the man.
And then he said the man called.
He keeps saying the man is almost like a father, or the man is a father.
But Shatta Wale has a way he communicates. You know, I love him.
And he says he was preventing. In telling the officer as he went to open the door and ask the officer
I was listening to the audio. I was laughing.
He was trying to prevent what has happened right now.
But I love Shatta Wale.
So he just wanted him to sit because his house was like a minute away, so that they could whatever. But when the police arrest you, how dare you direct them as to where they should take you? Charlie, how dare you open the officer's door and say, Master, sit down.
Sit down. Let's talk.
Are you the officer or I am?
You know,
are we turning the law
we're all
around?
getting to know all this because it was filmed. I mean, we all
so
do this.
thank you to those who did the filming, and the police shouldn't be arresting anybody here. All right, we're through with the hardcore. You know, if you leave the 2 of us, we can talk the whole morning, and you will be late to work, so we don't want to do that. Over the weekend, Charlie, things happen. Weekends, things happen. So, you know, we talked about Nano Ibrahim, the Deputy General Secretary of the MPP.
Do we have that on the show today, too?
If we have time, yeah. Because, see, I listened to him on
I saw a statement purporting to have coming from his
Exactly. Chamber. And I couldn't believe it. But we pray to God that we'll have time to deal with this matter. we'll look at Nana Obriboahen's apology letter, and then I can play back to you what he said on Asempa FM on Ekosi Sem, because I listened to him from beginning to the end, and there was no point where he denied that that was him in the video. Or in the soundbite that's been making rounds.
I read the content of the report, and I said I was trying to synchronize aspects of it to what he had said, for which we've had great publications around it during the weekend. What was coming out from the statement.
And he never denied it. He never said it was doctored or whatever.
Yeah, so I said he's always been a controversial figure when they were in opposition.
It was doctored, it was edited, like all the terms. Oh my God. But there's somebody who sent us a message. Emilia in Aswasi, you brought this issue of Obriboahen out. Emilia says, why is Mr. Obriboahen apologizing for exposing what is actually happening at the presidency, in the various ministries? Even our education minister, okay, no, we're not going there. I'm not re-echoing any allegation that you're making this morning, but this is on Shatta. Shattawale should be picked up. Nobody is above the law. That's Kin in Takra. They send in this message. This one says, may Allah bless you guys for the good work. It's from Abdullah from Bali. I'll come back with more messages. Let's do online, Roland.
And apparently, one of the cars that Mamavi drives is a stolen car. It is among a number of stolen cars and oil, and we're just discussing last week. We're just discussing last week about bunkering, and we had Dr. Kamaldeen, who is a petroleum expert. He's a maritime security expert. He's also
naval commander as well.
He also does maritime law. Telling us about illegal oil, and Senor Hosi was also on the line, etc. And now apparently stolen cars, oil head to Ghana. And this one is from an OECD report, and it says Ghana and 2 other countries, I'm sure around the continent, serve as the most popular destination for stolen cars. A new report by the OECD has revealed.
This is not good. This is not good for our reputation. You know, once in a while you see the police people carry out operations. Those people are like Interpol.
Yes.
So, and they stand at not very familiar point, but they are stopping just DV vehicles, and they're checking out the chassis.
Even sometimes they can stop normal registered cars, but you know, they look plush and too much. They feel that
sometimes they are looking for specific brands.
They have certain chassis numbers and all that. So
that reputation is not good for us. We've not been known for this, but suddenly we are like a destination for all the bad things.
Okay, next story. Doomsday prophecies are destroying relationships, according to Volta clergy. Actually, Dr. Mensa Otabil spoke about it over the weekend. He spoke about many things as well over the weekend. And then we have other stories too. Your ultimate guide, corporate dressing. And then if you want to know grooming, that's your story. Ashanti region, poor infrastructure grinding the education at Yao Safo to a halt. And it says a community in the Santia Chim South District of Ashanti region is on the brink of collapse. Education. Okay, and Diaries of a Gua Fisherman. Dear armed robbers, come for dinner and let's talk. And I'm sure it's coming from Richard Kojanyako there. That's a good one. That's a good one.
My counselor.
Yeah, okay. Akakpo copper Banku deaths. FDA begins investigation. Case of food poisoning or not is a question that we have to answer. And then we have 4 dead after eating Banku and Okrosu. Just a follow-up. And lastly, police 4 robbers attack on ICGC Calvary Temple.
We've got other stories, including this famous apology by Nana Obriboahen on myjoyonline.com. And then our Greek ministry threatens forceful eviction, demolition of illegal occupants on lands. Many stories on myjoyonline.com. Let's go to the BBC. You know, the Oscars. Is it over yet? Because as at maybe 4 a.m.
It was not?
It was still underway.
Okay.
Yeah. IS releases video of deaths of U.S. troops. The video purports to show U.S. soldiers being ambushed by IS-linked militants in Niger. And then dozens killed in DR Congo violence. Burkina Faso, Africa. French embassy in Ouagadougou attacked. Twin attacks also targeting army headquarters leave 8 security personnel dead. Source of West Listeria outbreak found. A South African factory is blamed for a listeria outbreak that has killed 180 people in a year. There are many stories of interest on the BBC page. Can we do a world so we can just see a bit of the Oscars? Let's do the world and the Oscars. Becky will be here to help us catch up with what we've been missing. But we're told that this particular Oscars, I mean, it's all the campaigns, the Me Too, all the various campaigns on equality. Yeah. We're told this is kind of like showcasing,
especially women in Hollywood.
Yeah. So this was essentially one of them events that's kind of showcasing the power that women also wield. There's been a first in the Oscars in different categories of the awards.
It's just the one for the lead actress, the movie she featured in. I don't know. Yeah. I watched the trailer of the movie. I thought it was a bit weird.
Yeah.
She fell in love with a sea monster or something. I don't know. That's a bit weird.
So we'll bring you up to speed. We'll bring you up to speed. Becky will be here later in the morning. We'll bring you all the rundown in the Oscars. Right now, though, we have to wrap it up here. We'll come back and share a lot more of your messages. This one says, the Rambo style of police in Ghana is very embarrassing. They act like gods. When you find yourself in their presence, they ask you a lot of questions. If you talk, they use it against you. But if you keep mute, they say you are disrespectful, just interested in frustrating you to make more money. Ohene Yeboah, UDS in Tamale, Faculty of Education, sending us this message, which sounds very familiar. We can all relate to this. But thankfully, we'll get a bit of education here on the show with DSP Alexander Obeng. We'll make way for sports. It's depressing right now to be supporting us now. But same way, no wonder Roland wasn't smiling, because Manchester United absolutely disgraced them. It could have been 3. It could have been more than that as well. Benedict will be here to relive those moments when Chelsea buried their heads. Stay with us.
We'll be right back.